What the Bears did wrong here was get rid of Justin Fields. I don't
100%.
understand. First off, nothing against Caleb Williams. I wouldn't have taken Caleb Williams because I wouldn't have been in the position to take him.
Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and today we are breaking down the 2024 first-round draft for all 32 teams, and helping me along the way, our expert, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, how we doing today?
I'm doing great. How's it going, brother? Rocking the NWO shirt?
Yes, sir, Chico.
Okay, about to put somebody through a table. What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah, you never know. This is Pittsburgh. You never know, baby.
Hey, yeah, well, we got to get no physical. That's the Buffalo tailgate, though. You got the wrong tailgate, but see, we got a peaceful tailgate over there at Three Rivers. At the Three Rivers, we got a peaceful tailgate.
You had it until this year. Until this year, man.
You got to go to Orchard Park putting people through tables now.
I'll do that too. Man, you know I ain't going to Buffalo. Nasty place. That's the one thing I share with our friend and your former host Armando is I am not going to Buffalo.
And that's what I was getting ready to tell you. I was getting ready to say, look, you and Armando can road trip together.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I'll put out a Kendrick Lamar diss track before I mess with Buffalo. And anybody that knows anything knows you ain't putting out a Kendrick Lamar diss track and making it out alive.
Yeah, I have no idea who Kendrick Lamar is, so I'm probably way out of touch. So that's all right. I'm sure it's a rapper. You said a diss track. Yeah, I'm going.
Fair enough.
You go. Yeah, I'm sure it's a rapper because you said a diss track, but I have never heard him in my life.
He's the man. Anyway, breaking down the draft, we are wasting your time. Let's get into this. With the first pick, the Chicago Bears took, obviously, everybody knew it for months, Caleb Williams out of USC.
Yeah.
Obvious pick here. Me personally, I think it's a good pick. I think Daniels will probably end up being the better quarterback personally, but that's just me. Bears did nothing wrong here.
What the Bears did wrong here was get rid of Justin Fields. 100%. I don't understand. First off, nothing against Caleb Williams. I wouldn't have taken Caleb Williams because I wouldn't have been in the position to take him. If that makes sense. I wouldn't have got rid of the other guy. Now, I can see why they took him. His play over the last couple of years appeared to start to become lazy. You know, he got a little lethargic looking at times, and that was one of the knocks on him. But hell, the kid got bored. The young man got bored. He was a man amongst boys in college. Well, now he's going to be a young man against a bunch of grown men. You know, and the people that want to knock him, they're knocking him over silly stuff. Oh, he painted his nails. I don't give a damn he painted his nails.
Yeah.
Can you quarterback? And I think he can. And he has a better chance to succeed in Chicago than Justin Fields because guess what they did? They gave him weapons. He already has a far better receiving core than Justin Fields ever had when he was there. So why would they not keep the 1 pick, keep Justin Fields, keep the 1 and the 9, and get him them weapons? I don't get it. Nonetheless, great pick by the Bears because I hope the young man works because we need 32 good quarterbacks in the NFL. I love football. I will die loving football. So I want 32 good quarterbacks. So I hope he makes it.
100%. And I think that's an important fact here. Nobody on this show wants anybody to fail. We want all these guys to eat. We want everybody to succeed because it only makes football better. We just want Pittsburgh at the end of the day to be standing on the pile of these dogs holding up a friggin' trophy. That's all we're saying. So
I'm hoping every guy that we talk about in this draft gets a second contract. It means they worked out. Whether they're a Hall of Famer or not, it's irrelevant. If you can go through that first year, whether they pick up your 5th-year option or not, that's a whole nother show we got to have because Pittsburgh didn't pick up Najee's. Mm-hmm. I get why they didn't. People panicking, but that's a whole nother show. But you get that second contract, you've had a good career.
No, totally agree. Moving on, the guy I just mentioned, Jaden Daniels out of LSU, goes second to the Commanders. He is, I think, in a great situation here, much like the Bears. He's got weapons already with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. I think they probably got the best receiver they've had to play with in a minute, or the best quarterback that they've had to play with in a minute. And I know we're not breaking down the rest of their draft, but the Commanders really went off in the second and third round with multiple picks, building around Jaden Daniels. So again, I think he's going to have a great career. I think he can hit the ground running in Washington, and especially with the new owner, new coach, it's going to be a whole new attitude over there.
Yeah, see, and he's set up for success with the talent they have, because they also have Brian Robinson Jr. in the backfield. We've talked about this before. The best friend of a quarterback is a running game. I don't care who you are. If you can turn around and hand that thing off and the ball keep moving, the time of possession, the clock keep running, you look pretty good as quarterback. I mean, ask people like Joe Flacco. I mean, that's what they did in their early parts of their career. Nonetheless, he set up for success with Cliff Kingsbury. That if they can make that, if that marriage can work out between those two, which obviously Kingsbury thinks it can because he chose him. He had 5 other options, in the first round to choose from. He never had a shot at Caleb, but he had 5 more choices and he chose this one. So he's believing it can work. So if Jaden can make it work, that he's set up for success, because Kingsbury's proven he can score. He's another guy. Great coordinator. He's a good head coach in college. Didn't prove to be a very effective head coach in the NFL, but can he be a coordinator? We've talked about that. Like we talked about Arthur Smith, Charlie Weiss, guys like that. If Kingsbury can be that coordinator, this young man can have a pretty successful 12, 15-year career.
100%. 100% agree with you. Here's my first bad pick of the draft. New England takes Drake May at 3rd. Why is this a bad pick, you ask? Well, everything about this kid, the second he was drafted, he's a project. In my mind, if you're picking 3rd or you're picking in the top 5, you need guys ready to go now. Caleb's going to play now. Jaden Daniels is going to play now. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to play now. Joe Alt is going to play now. All of these guys are going to play and impact their team. Drake May sitting 2 years. We might know if he can even be an NFL quarterback.
Here's the problem. They said he's competing for the starting job. He's going to start. And this is why I don't like the pick. And this is what we'll get into when it comes to pick 8. We might end the show on pick 8, talking about going through the first round. And this is why this drives me crazy. If they drafted him to do what the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. to do, I'm 100% for the pick. They didn't. Mm-hmm. This kid's going to play. He's going to play. He might not play the first 2 weeks, but damn it, week 3, 4, he's playing. And here's the thing. What did we talk about with the first 2 quarterbacks? Oh, they come in with weapons. They come in. Man, who's that? I just had my knee replaced and I can make that receiving core. Come on. You have a good running game. Now, you do have a good running back. But when you can't throw, that running back is rendered helpless because they're going to go 9 in the box. It's the NFL. Who's playing 9 in the box? This kid doesn't stand a chance right now. They didn't give him a receiving core. The best hope he got is that they leave him right where he should be on the bench for a year, maybe 2, and then Jordan Love him. Bring him on out and hope he's learned something. Nothing against this. I don't know him. I couldn't pick him out of the lineup. But the bottom line is you can't take him and just throw him out there when you gave him nobody to work with. That's why the other guy didn't work because he couldn't get along with Bill. Oh, that's just my cane fail. But he couldn't get along with Bill.
You're so mad.
Yeah, we're talking about ruining quarterbacks for no reason. Now, if we was talking about ruining kickers, as you go back to our old show, I wouldn't have a problem.
I love it.
But yeah, like the kid, not a fan of the pick for the reasons we talked about. Lack of weapons, and I know he's going to start.
Everything every expert has said about him said he regressed his last year at North Carolina. I'll emphasize that again. At North Carolina, he regressed and has massive footwork issues. Throwing this guy into the NFL offense right now, all I'm seeing is Johnny Manziel and Tim Couch. The New England Patriots did a Browns.
See, I'll give you Johnny Manziel. I won't give you Tim Couch because the Browns did him no favors. I mean, so I will give you that. That's what you're saying. I get it. But nonetheless, it's a tough situation. It's a tough spot for this kid if they're going to stick him on the field. 100%. I think they should have traded out of that pick, picked up 3 or 4 more picks, one later in the first round, and got players and just rode Jacoby Brissett to an 8-9 season, because you're sticking him out there in that division. Come on. He got to go against the Bills D, the Sauce Gardner now, and the Jets. Come on. He in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot.
No, he really is. He really is. Moving on. Let's get some better news in here. The Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best wide receiver talents to come out in a minute, all around at number 4. I think this is a great pick. Kyler Murray gets some actual help. Absolutely, on paper, I would say probably the best wide receiver Arizona's had since Larry Fitzgerald. Can he be Larry Fitzgerald, though, is the question.
I hate to go out here and say he can be better, but this kid is good. He's good. Only thing they did wrong with this pick is let Marquise Brown go. They let Hollywood Brown, or who was that they had?
Hollywood.
They let somebody go to the Chiefs. They should have just paid him and put him across from him, because they got a young core, but at least you would have finally got to see what the other guy could do, because the other guy wasn't a 1. He was a 2. You tried to make him a 1. Well, this kid is a 1. This kid is going to be really good. But they did pick up Paris Campbell. Picked up Paris Campbell, who's all excited about having him on the team, obviously, 2 Buckeyes. But this kid's going to be a hit. He's going to be a home run.
No, great pick. Nobody has any complaints about this. The Chargers at 5 select Joe Alt. Whether he's going to play left tackle, right tackle, this guy out of Notre Dame is a beast. Justin Herbert gets some much needed protection here. And what they do later in the first round just solidifies them taking him here. I think this is a great pick.
Yeah, when you have and I'm going to say it, if you have potentially a Hall of Fame quarterback, that kid is good. I don't get, it's the Chargers. How many Super Bowls they going to win? Hey, let's just face it, maybe none ever. But the bottom line is God, he's not this good, but he's their next Dan Fouts. He's not that good, but he's a guy that's going to be there for a long time. So you got to get big bodies up there to protect him and keep him upright. And that's what they did here. And then the weight's going to be off of him, because you need a guy like this with Harbaugh being the coach, because they're going to run the ball. So that's going to take more pressure off the quarterback. It's going to open up some passing lanes. But again, you got to have big bodies up there to take care of him. And now you got a quarterback that's going to be there forever, like the last good one you had that was there forever. Didn't win anything, but he's wearing that gold jacket.
Yes, he is. Mr. Rivers is going to look good in that gold jacket, too. Him and his 48 kids. Picking at number 6, the Giants take Malik Neighbors out of LSU, wide receiver. A lot of people say he is the only guy that was comparable to Marvin Harrison Jr. in this draft. A lot of people making the argument that he's actually going to be better because he's got a little bit better speed. I don't know about all that, but I know the Giants got a good pick here. If it were me, I would have probably tried to protect my quarterback, but they need so many weapons here. I think they took the best available.
They really did, and I agree with this pick 100%, because, again, I know I sound like a quarterback homer here, but you keep taking the quarterback, being Daniel Jones. When did you ever give him anybody? This is the first person you've given him. When you had 3 or 4 prior drafts to give him somebody, you finally gave him somebody. You gave him a washed-up Darren Waller. He's still not a wide receiver. He's a tight end who don't know if he's going to play this year. He done already tapped out. So you got to give this kid, and before you crucify Daniel Jones, give him some people to throw the ball to. You finally did that. That's why I applaud this pick big time.
100%. 7th pick, Titans. J.C. Latham out of Alabama, tackle. Again, great pick here. You're moving on from the Derrick Henry era. You got a younger team. You can't rely on that big man just pulling defenders with him as he runs for 30 yards.
Yeah.
This to me was a great pick, and I think he's an immediate left tackle starting for the Titans.
Anytime you can pick up one of your tackles in the draft and there appear to be a home run, it's a great pick. But doesn't Tennessee just seem like one of those? They seem like a city like Pittsburgh. Guess what they're going to do? I don't care what the game of football does. They're going to be physical and run the ball. Yep. I don't care. And they picked up Tony Pollard. They have weapons. They got D-Hop. They have the young quarterback who they're hoping is going to be great. And again, they got somebody to protect him. So this is not rocket science, but they're still a team. They got Brian Callahan, I believe, is the coach now, the old OC from the Bengals. So you think they're going to open it up. But doesn't Tennessee just seem like a team that's still going to run the ball all the time? Yes, they do. I mean, I could be completely wrong, probably because of Braves when Braves was the coach. All they're going to do is run the ball. They like to steal it. Man, we going to run the ball. If you stop that, then well, I guess we'll throw it. And so they got a big body in there he's already the starter. He's already the starter. They'll pencil him right in and away they go. I'm sure he's already on the facilities working, getting the playbook, getting the communication with Will Levis and those guys and getting everything squared away. But it's a great pick.
100%. And this leads us to what will probably take up the remainder of this show. We will get a second show in for the rest of the draft if we need to. At number 8, here we go. The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. Everyone, including myself, hates this pick. And I'll explain why later. But Lou is on an island, a very lonely island right now.
Look, I'm on an island with one palm tree with one coconut hanging from it. I love the pick. And now here's the thing. Not a huge fan of the player. Like, he just, I don't know. I watched Washington a lot, actually, last year because they were always on and they were prolific. They scored. Mm-hmm. It's just something about him, But I get what they did. I come on these shows. I did it on the last show that I had with Armando. I've done it on this one. Scream and a holler about putting quarterbacks in situations just where they can't be successful. Right. They're setting them up for failure. Atlanta's not doing that with this kid. Yes, they gave Kirk Cousins 180, I believe, 100 guaranteed. He's starting until he can't. So if they can let this kid watch for 2 to 3 years and replace Cousins, you're looking at a Jordan Love situation. And then everybody's going, oh, that was great by the Falcons. But then everybody's hating the pick because they need defense. I get you need defense, but guess what you need in this league? A quarterback. And yours is coming off an Achilles tear.
Yes.
So worst case scenario, Cousins can't play, and I hope he does. Hope he's well. But if he can't, you got your quarterback. You put him in there earlier than I would want to. Obviously earlier than they want to, or they'd have never gave the guy before him $180 million. This is a good pick. And I understand why everybody hates it, because we all live in a world of we got to have it now. Got to have it now. Like we just told you on the last show. We told all the listeners on the last show, the first 3 players the Steelers pick, plug and play.
Yep.
But the thing is, none of them were a quarterback. And another thing is this. When Troy Fatnow, or how are we going? I'm gonna butcher his name for 15 years. But when he has a bad game, guess what we're not going to do? We're not going to go, oh, they need to bench him. He was a bust. Let Michael Penix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix go out there and have one bad game. Oh, they a bust. Get them out of here. They should have never took him. Let that starting safety get beat for 2 touchdowns in one game because he a rookie. He just had a bad game. He got to pick up his reads better. So it's a double standard. That's why I love this pick. Now, I'm speaking directly to the Falcons brass. You better not fire that coach. You better not. You better not fire the coach. You better not fire the GM. You marry them to this pick. Because Arthur Blank approved it. That you writing all the checks. Or do they still write checks? Or are we all getting direct deposit?
I think it's all direct deposit now. Somebody sent me a check. I think it's like fake. I think they're trying to rip me off.
I still get paper checks. I'll still go to the bank, but that's okay. But you see what I'm saying? You can't fire the offensive coaching staff. You can't fire the head coach. You got a defensive head coach. You cannot fire that staff. You got to keep them, or else you never know if this project worked. So I love this. I absolutely love this pick if they do that. Remember how everybody hated the Jordan Love pick? Well, we did, but at least they took him at 24. It's the first round. If you take him at 1 or 32, you still taking your first round player has got to be a starter, or you have got to have a plan. And at least they came out and with a plan. So you can't put them on the cross right now and crucify them. You don't know what the plan is. We know what the plan is. You don't know if it's going to work. You could go revisit draft classes from 3 to 5 years ago and see who all had their 5th-year option renewed or accepted. Everybody looked like they took bad players because not a lot of teams did it. Maybe half the league, maybe a little more than half, I guess. But for example, the Steelers didn't pick up Najee's. I understand why they didn't. A lot of people pissed. Everybody betting on themselves. The Steelers betting on themselves, and he's betting on himself now. But this pick, I like it. I like it if they stick with their plan.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I really do. I think there are some differences between the Jordan Love situation and this. My biggest problem with it is leading into the Bears' next pick at 9 with Rome Odunze.
Uh-huh.
Atlanta could have taken him, paired him with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. Well, now watch it. Now who's got the guns? Kirk Cousins has the best offense he's ever had. He's got a defensive coach with the defense that wasn't bad last year. They need some help, but they weren't bad. So you could get by, maybe make some moves in the later rounds of the draft to get your defensive guys like you end up doing anyway, and you have that solid offense. The Falcons, to me, when they signed Kirk Cousins, they said we are in win now mode. And when they drafted Michael Penix, they said, psych, no, we're not. So, especially with that pick.
I do see it both ways. I really do see it both ways. Okay, devil's advocate. They don't think they're in position to win a Super Bowl right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then why would you pay $180 million to a quarterback? So it's the other way. Then you go the other way, they go, no, we can take the quarterback because we're built to win now. And now when this quarterback done, we cycle in the next one and we have him, Bijan, Drake, Pitts, not to mention whoever else we pick up in the meantime. So we'll just roll on with it. And that's what they're thinking. They're thinking they already have what they need offensively to get them to hold that Lombardi trophy. And now they just loaded it up for another 12 to 15 years after Kirk's done. That's what they're thinking. And then their draft picks after that, they started filling some needs on their team that they had to have. They feel like they're ready. So as long as they stick to that plan, and like I say, I know the island I'm on, there's no going to be not a ship passing to see me. That's a hill I'm going to die on. I'm going to have to die on that hill because ain't nobody coming to save me. But I like to pick. And the kid's in a good situation. They do have talent for him. He has a running game. He has a really good running game. And look, he's not in bad weather. He's in a dome. I mean, all of this stuff play. Then he's in the NFC South. I don't want to. No division in football is soft, but it's the NFC South, man. It's the NFC South. Come on. Yeah. So he's in a great situation there. Dude's going to play 10 games a year in a dome because they play the Saints. Then, I'm sorry, the other 2 games are in Tampa. He played 1 in Tampa, 1 in Carolina. Dude, come on. Dude got 11 games a year in great weather. I mean, yes, that does play a factor. I don't care what people say. That does play a factor, especially when you're playing with that kind of speed with your weapons on offense and stuff. He's in a great situation if the Falcons are patient enough to let it play out. Now, clearly, their fan base is patient. If they wasn't, they wouldn't have a fan base. they clearly have to be a patient fan base.
Yeah. There was a minor revolt on draft day. It seemed like in Detroit, it wasn't actual Detroiters tearing up the city that day. It was Atlanteans. But that said, I see what you're saying. I think everybody will just calm down once the season goes. The pick right now is confusing. Nobody likes it because, let's face facts, we're human beings. We got to dislike something. And the only thing in this I completely disagree with you on is there are maybe 4 people that will come and save you on this island. And that would be Arthur Blank, the GM, the coach, and Michael Penix Jr. They've sent out a search party for you, man.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, but I like to pick myself. I do like to pick.
No, I see what you're saying. And you're right. They do have a plan. They're sticking to it. And you have to respect the confidence, if nothing else, of them saying we can win right now with what we got. It's future building time. If that's what you think and that's what you believe, good for you. Because I haven't felt that way in a minute as a football fan. So I love it. Before we wrap this up, we are going to cover the rest of these in our next show. But before we wrap these up, real quick, give me something on Rome Odunze being picked at 9 and Minnesota moving up to take J.J. McCarthy at 10.
I mean, just real quick, I love the 9 pick because you're going to take the quarterback. You got to give him weapons. You know, they have a decent running game, but now he has DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and I always want to call him Romeo, but Rome Odunze. But now they have him. So he doesn't have to be the one going in. I mean, he'll wind up as their one, not next year, but maybe the following year. But this is a great pick. I hate the J.J. McCarthy pick.
Agree on both counts. I love the Rome Odunze pick. I think he's going to be fantastic. And when Keenan eventually leaves, when DJ Moore probably signs with another team after his contract's up, Rome steps right in there. He's ready to go. And I mean, you might as well call him Romeo because he's going to be a stud in Chicago. Flat out stud. And the Minnesota pick with J.J. McCarthy, I mean, you want to talk, I know we don't like to use the term reach here. I don't think they are built simply for a quarterback like J.J. McCarthy because they don't have the running game to back it up.
That's it.
JJ needs a running game, and they don't have it.
That's what I'm saying. The kid has been picked to fail. I don't think he can throw them to wins. And you got the best receiver. You got the best receiver in the league, and you have a top 5 tight. Provided he comes back from his injuries, okay. Top 5 tight end in the league, but you don't have a running game anymore. Alexander Madison proved he can't do it by himself, so they got to get that together. And now you went and you stuck this kid in this situation, and you're going to start him. Now, if you're going to start Sam Darnold, I'll go back to Drake May, Michael Penix. I would like to pick if you're going to set him. If you're going to set him, then I like to pick. But I don't think they're setting him. I think they're going to stick him right out there, and then everybody's going to be yelling about what he is. He's not a bust. Y'all put him in a situation to fail, and that's not his fault. And hopefully he has a great career. I don't give a damn where he went to college at. Hopefully he has a great career and gets that second big contract. Hopefully he does, but I think Minnesota's a little out over their skis with thinking they are better than what they are. This dude will have to face Detroit twice.
Yeah.
The Packers twice. Now the Bears twice. That's just in the division.
Yeah.
I just let him sit, throw Sam Darnold out there. What, y'all ain't winning anyway?
That's it. There's no reason for this. This doesn't keep Justin Jefferson around. This doesn't make me want to play in Minnesota much longer if I'm Justin. I hate this pick. And it has nothing to do with where he played. Nothing to do with where he played.
No, that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the kid either. It's just what are you doing? You talk about Atlanta needed some help. This team needed some pieces. And you went and got the quarterback that you're going to force on the field. All you had to do was sign Kirk.
Yeah.
Sign Kirk back and use your pick. I don't get it. This is the one I don't understand. And this is another one a lot of people disagree with me on. But I just don't understand this pick. When you're reaching for a quarterback when you had one and let him walk out the door.
100%.
I don't get it.
Totally disagree with it. Don't understand it. But that's also probably why we're here and not in a war room on draft day. Just a guess.
I was in a couple war rooms. That's why I know checks still.
Yeah. You're like the equalizer for the NFL draft. Everybody's calling you.
Yeah, I sit in my room and I got 32 monitors.
That's it.
I take calls as they come.
That's it.
What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Nah, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, do this, do that.
You're like Michael Douglas in Wall Street, just monitoring all of it, making the moves.
Look, making the moves and getting all of them wrong.
And on that note, for Michael Douglas over here, I'm Corey Idle. This is Six Rings and Counting, and we will catch you guys next time.